Welcome to the NiNe Show. This is the land where there's constant chaos.
Welcome to the
NiNe Show.
Or the NiNe Show.
The NiNe Show.
the NiNe Show.
Got myself
My shoulders are so wide I can't even fit in the screen.
Actually, sometimes I really feel like I'm dumber than myself.
Technically, it's because you suck.
Yep,
But
that
we
is true.
I don't know what to say.
I like how you're like hitting yourself on the head when you're trying to.
Yeah, I'm like, think.
I'm like, fuck, like we think the same. We are recording, so Manny, if you want to take it away.
Okay, cool. Man. Yeah, so we're regular humans who happen to have intuition as our dominant function. We are ENTP. Well, he's not here right now,
He's
but
doing something.
he's doing something. INFJ, which is me. Jono, who's the ENFP, and Leon, who's INTJ. And yeah, so each week we are trying to discuss certain topics that are interesting around typology. And today we have a really special guest. We have none other than Fred 2, who officially revealed himself as an INFJ, so we thought we should do like a quick interview. And,
Welcome, Fred.
Just see what's happening.
Welcome
Wondering,
to the land of chaos.
is two your actual last name, or is it something super crazy?
No, it's actually two is in the number, but Facebook doesn't let me have a number as a surname, so I had to have.
Okay,
Really?
that makes sense.
Is
Well,
your
that's
surname actually
cool.
TWO?
So
That's cool.
you should have if you don't have kids, name your kid after you, so it's like Fred 2-2 or like Fred 2-3 or something.
I'm planning on having two kids. The first
Okay.
one's going to be called Juan, and the second one is going to be Jesus,
Wow.
just to freak people out, you know.
That's great.
Praise
that's
God.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
Nice, man. So yeah, look, congrats on getting it. You recently got typed by Dave and Shan, right?
Yeah. Fuck, feminine sensory. I have no fucking idea when. A couple of days ago.
Do you want to tell us a bit about it? Like, what'd you get?
So let me just get it up on the screen so I can cheat, because I don't remember who I am. Because I have Demon TI. I remember that.
That's crazy.
So my full objective personality code is double feminine, NIFE, blast, play, sleep, consume. What more do you want to know?
How do you feel about it?
I don't know. I'm still kind of conflicted, to be honest, because I don't know. I think it's, to be honest, I think it's that masculine NI. It's like, yeah, is it right though? Is that actually who I am? You know?
Yeah, probably forcing to see your pattern without much evidence with that feminine sensory. Like me, when Dave told me what my type was, I literally fought him on it. I didn't fight that hard though, because I'm like, wait, all the evidence is pointing that he's right. Wow, and I was mind screwed for like a week, so I'm sure you're going to be mind screwed for a while.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. When I was listening to their audios, it was all making sense to me. I was connecting it, and it was, okay, yeah, no, I see what they're seeing now, and it's, I could get on board with it then, but fucking consume last. Sorry, am I allowed to swear on your channel?
Yeah,
Of course,
for
man.
sure,
Right,
man.
strikes.
Say
Okay.
whatever you want.
Fucking A. So, yeah, so like going through their audios, it was making sense, but, you know, I just can't fucking keep it in my head. So that's been the struggle. Like, yeah, so what you were saying, it's that I don't know if how you felt about this, but it was they're very compelling. Like the way they kind of describe what they're seeing. It does seem like they kind of tailor it to, because obviously they know what your fucking
Yeah.
type is, so
Yeah.
they know what kind of information you want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. You kind of feel special, like they really know you and they really like dug deep into something you didn't see in yourself, and you're like, wow, how did they piece all of this together? They they barely know me, and they just go into depth, and you're like, okay, wow, yeah, I get that.
That's cool, man. So how do you think other people feel when they see your official type after interacting with you? What was the tribe's
Unicorn.
response?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't consume it.
Ready? I'll say it slowly so you can take it all in.
Yeah, thank you.
No. How do you think other people feel when they saw your official type? Like after interacting with you, like do you think people were conflicted, or like have you interacted with people in the group enough to go, oh wow, I agree with that, or or not sure about that?
Well, the feedback I got from the Facebook group, I don't know, with the Demon TI and the Play High, it for me it kind of helped me kind of get on board with it. I did put off actually even sharing it, like generally, because fucking FE is fucking nightmare, honestly. Because I still got this fucking MBTI fucking value bullshit in my head somewhere, where it's like I didn't want to share it because it's the fucking INFJ unicorn, but it's fucking absurd, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's like MBTI is like the INFJ is like 1% of the population. And when I first got typed, well, before I got typed by Dave and Shen, I had really consumed MBTI a lot, and I really thought I was INFJ, and I was further like inflating my beliefs on top of that. And yeah, made me feel like I was rare and special and blah 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 blah. But after I got typed, it kind of just was a bit of a reality check, shake my head a bit, and like figure out okay. So yeah, it kind of changed my world a bit, and really like kind of helped me see myself from a different perspective as well.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Double masculine.
I've actually forgotten what I was going to say.
Sorry, man. I was just going to say, for all of you that are watching that are really pissed off at Jono's purple changing background, he's just in the spirit world right now.
Yeah.
I'm
in NF land. I'm in NEFI land.
Yeah.
Just purple everywhere. It's my laptop, man. It's just, I don't know why it's doing this.
Server problems,
Is it hard to see me though?
Interrupted you.
Can you actually see me?
You look like you're in a Jarimaquai video.
Jarimaquai? What? Who's that?
Jarimaquai. You don't know Jarimaquai? I don't know. It's like some singer in the 90s.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Virtual Insanity.
Yeah, you should know that, Mr. Audio.
What's the next question?
I'm gonna do this one for a season.
I just muted my freaking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Microphone.
So we're curious, what ideas have you had that other people have not been on board about?
With your masculine NI.
We can just like be as general as you want. Just answer however you feel answers the question.
I tell you what, actually, I'm going to actually go through my Facebook page. So, yeah. I'm going to level with you. I'm not a huge fan of feminism. So I don't know if we're getting into a grey area here, but
yeah, I guess.
So
go for it, man.
Yeah, go.
So with this masculine NI, fucking demon consume, blast high, feminine sensory. When I was just starting to learn like objective personality, I started to see some connections with like masculinity and femininity, and so I put on this big fucking blog post basically on my Facebook wall about what femininity and masculinity actually is, and tying it into kind of what I knew. Some people kind of played with it, but not hugely popular. I suppose I don't know if that kind of fits your criteria for that.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Asees is here, everyone.
Hey, Asees.
Just to let you guys know.
Last minute.
Muted and not visible.
Yeah, bro, we can't see you.
Yeah, just getting a few things set up, why I was running late and stuff.
Yeah, why don't you, I mean, if you want to, you could tell the audience. If you don't, you don't have to.
Yeah, no, it's fine. He definitely doesn't need to. But
that could be the prayer of the episode. pray for the situation.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. I will do some of my own praying as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say about the your blog post. I guess that really is that was just like you blasting and just trying to interact with the tribe, and then being open to see like whether they agree with you or not. So yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense. What's the next question? Oh yeah, how do you get your information? What are your sources, and how many sources do you feel you need to be convinced something is true? That was a lot of questions in like one sentence.
That's interesting. So, like, sources for what? Just like for everything.
You have like, so yeah, Dave and Shan talk about something called the IJ box, right? Where it's like you keep going to the same box for information. It's like going over the known information, but it's also like you've kind of boxed in all the things you consume into like a box. So, you know, you want to go find out something, I'm going to go to my IJ box and see if it's in there.
So yeah, like that makes sense. So this, I don't know. It's stuff like this that kind of still kind of shakes my confidence in this, because maybe I just still don't see it. I don't really see where my IJ box is. I think objective personality has been my IJ box for this whole year, and I really see how kind of obsessed I've been with it. But yeah, like, to be honest, I kind of I get my information from all over the place in a very sporadic way. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what my IJ box is.
Well, I have an idea. It's probably where you're at right now, because it looks like it's very well organized with your computer to the side, the nice one color background with your perfect headset that I'm super jealous about. So that seems like part of it.
Like a green screen.
Well, to be honest, I put this up because I didn't want you to see the absolute state my house is in.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh shit. I'm the next question too. Oh yeah, I was really interested in this one. What happens when you get angry? So how does your NF blast come out when you're angry?
When I'm angry.
Like I get kind of like I never really express anger. I just kind of get really passive aggressive, and like the more angry I am, the more passive aggressive, and the more like uncommunicative I'll be, and the more like distant I'll be. So I never really express it. So I was wondering if that's similar to you, or if since your savior blast, it is kind of different. I don't know.
That's okay. Yeah. So I do get very passive aggressive sometimes, and it's I do eventually get to just like a fuck you attitude. I think it's like when my masculine TI finally kicks in, I'm like, fuck you. I've put up with your shit for so long, and like I don't even. Especially with low consume, it's like I'm really not fucking listening to anything you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, so I suppose that's where my anger comes from. It's just a complete shut out of the world.
There was once, I'm not gonna name names, but there was someone in the OP group who was causing quite a fuss, and like you were handling the situation really well, and like they were just constantly testing your patience, and I was like, I would have just given up a while ago. Then eventually you were kind of like, fuck you, here's information, accept it, don't, I'm done. That's like you just reached that point. So I was like, yeah. So that was it.
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah.
But
I'm curious how old you are, if you don't mind sharing, so we can kind of gauge like a level on the spectrum of SE of where in life you are with that anger, because you know it's obviously starts somewhere a little bit more intense, like as you're younger, and then it'll advance and kind of calm down. You'll be able to control it better. I'm not saying you're bad at it, but how old are you? Not to
Way to ask how old he is.
I'm 27, but that did remind me. I did used to have a lot of anger problems when I was a kid, But to be honest, I still can't really identify what they were. It's just that other people saw I had anger issues and took me to counselling, which didn't work.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Same.
How did it play out? Like you were physically angry, or was it like what did they see that seemed angry? Were you saying like I'm actually angry, or like I'm very curious about that.
I think it was sort of just like bouts of rage, and I think my dad is like a thinking savior. Sorry to take someone off on a tangent. I hope that's okay. Have any of you typed your parents, and have any of you struggled with that? Like weirdly.
Yes.
Not really for me.
We can narrow it down to like some animals and maybe like double decide if we're step observer, but not specifically in detail.
I got my mom's type 95% sure. My dad's type is 100% sure.
Wait, where did those percentages come from?
They're NI percentages, you know what I mean?
Do you do a scientific process to process those types?
Sorry, what?
Do you scientifically process them?
Well,
is this based off your own bias?
NF sleep.
Well, no one else close to me has interacted with them that knows the personality system.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not sure about it, because no one said anything else to like disprove it. I have seen their patterns my whole life. Anyways, enough about me. What about Fred? He's avoiding the question.
So you might have seen a little bit of the NF Blast play there. Just totally deflect. I don't talk about my TI. Thanks.
Oh yeah, that was the point of asking.
Oh man, almost works too, but Leon's NFC caught onto it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, maybe it's the double activation on OI, because I deal with the same things, like especially growing up being angry, and I think it's just because things didn't go my way, and so I just kind of like get angry when it doesn't go my way, and maybe you relate.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, I think maybe with my masculine and I'm so sure, especially when I was a kid, I was very fucking delusional. Like I was so sure of what was going to happen, and like what the fuck, like this isn't what was supposed to happen. Like I saw it, you know. Yeah, so I see what you're saying.
Johnny, you got the next question, bro.
I think Asees has a question, actually.
Asees' turn.
Well, I suppose it's just more so because you were asking if we have trouble typing our parents, and so I just want to get more clarity on why you would why you would have trouble typing your parents. Is it more so an ambivalence with the understanding of the coin, or more so you're in the midst of the situation, so you can't it's really hard to remove yourself and get a more of an objective perspective?
I think that is a large part of it. It's sort of as well, like, because the more I kind of understood about the system, because I could see myself doing everything, it was hard for me to type myself. So in a similar respect, I find it difficult to type my parents because I've seen them in so many different states. I've seen them kind of do all of the functions. So it's kind of difficult for me to actually pin them down on something, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's most of it.
Right.
Could you like see them in more like general ways? Like, could you be like, oh, my dad's definitely a double decider, like he gets more issues about like control and organization more than tribe and self? Like, do you get those general kind of thoughts about them, or is there literally like no category you can fit them in?
I think actually, like with my dad especially, it's very difficult for me to type him because I'm just realizing now, I'm trying to type him on my memory of him, which is kind of not going to fucking work. But I actually met up with my mum today, and I was talking to her a little bit about this and typing her covertly and trying to explain to her what I was seeing. But yeah, I definitely can see the coins now that I actually re-meet with her. Yeah, I don't want to go into details for that, but
yeah, that's cool. I guess
Of
going
course not.
forward, we're just gonna see it more and more. Yeah, Jono's got the next question.
What's the next one? Oh wait, are we up to daily routine? Do you have a daily routine, Fred? What is your daily routine?
Oh fuck me! This question in the because they had the same question. I didn't know how to fucking answer it. It's like I don't know. I fucking wake up and try not to kill myself. that's my daily routine.
See, I'm the opposite. I wake up and try not to kill other people.
Is that the difference between double masculine and double feminine?
Yeah, probably.
What about you guys, you audience? What do you do?
I wake up, I do like a morning routine. So like I'll do a quick 10 push-ups, then I'll meditate, then I'll journal for 10 minutes. Then I'll like organize my day for like 15 minutes. And then I'll do the next appropriate task. So like at the moment I'm looking for jobs. So I'll like look for jobs for a few hours. And then whatever other tasks I'll have in the day, I'll do them. And then I have like my first meal at 12 because I'm doing intermittent fasting.
Nice.
And then from 12 till 5 p.m. I'm doing like casual work, like either organizing stuff or messaging people or like just less intensive work, or if I have to do some physical errands. And then 5 onwards, it's just chilling if I'm reading a book or like any, like, I don't know. That's pretty much it. That's the general daily routine.
Sounds exciting, man.
Yeah, man, that was awesome.
All right, who else has got one? Jono, what's yours?
Mine is I wake up early every morning and I either go to the gym and work out, prepare for the day, or I wake up and do a bit of work every second day. So yeah, I alternate. Work one day in the morning, next day gym.
I love how we totally turned this into a DI conversation instead of focusing on like Mr. Fred.
Yeah, we did not miss up the opportunity to talk about ourselves, did we?
Yeah.
E over here, I'm all about it. I'm loving this.
All right. Well, as long as you're about it, let's go on to me next. No, I'm just kidding. No.
All right. So the next one we had is, what is your number one priority for the next few months?
Get my fucking shit together. I actually don't know. I need to sleep on this for a little second.
Okay, we'll give you like 20 seconds. Everybody shut up.
2 seconds. Everyone just stare at him.
Look at that Effie smile. Woo! You got 5 seconds.
Okay, so what I want to say is I want to figure out what the fuck I want to do with my life. But actually, like now that I've got this result, it's actually, I don't know, I live a very kind of sedentary, solitary life. I actually don't really go out much. That's why the blast play thing's kind of confusing. It does make sense, but it's kind of still settling. And so I suppose my priority is just getting the fuck out of my house and actually living my life, because I've spent the first 27 years of my life not actually doing anything with it and kind of just not to turn it into a pity party, but not really doing much for my life. So just fucking getting out of my fucking house, getting out of my IJ box. Or maybe that's why I couldn't answer the IJ box questions, because that's all I have. So like, my IJ box.
You live in your IJ box.
Dude, that's all it takes. That's how you start with life, is like literally just getting out of the house. Step number 1. Step number 2, get backstage.
Oh man, the Annies are like, what are they talking about? Like, it's not that deep.
Yeah, Jono's over in any land right now. Asees is in the online world of
Yeah.
stocks. Oh my goodness. Next question, maybe.
Fred. Did you happen to watch Lindsay's recent video on how she schedules and sort of perceives time, I guess?
No, I haven't, because I'm a fucking consume last dumbass. No, but obviously I can't watch that now. No, sorry, no, I haven't.
He's like
I watched a little bit of it while I was distracted, obviously, you know, but I think what I got from it, which is probably not accurate, was that she was just talking about like types and how like the masculine and feminine versions of the functions perceive time and how they would sort of schedule things and stuff. And she was talking about SI is more like and more sensory masculine, but specifically SI is more like the time. It's like this is here and then that's here. And she had like this nice visual and stuff with like a timeline. And then where NI is more like the size or the volume of the activity in between those moments. And so then that's how she organizes her schedule compared to the from this time to this time, you know.
That makes sense. So like it's not actual timeline, it's actually just chunks.
Right.
Is that right? Yeah, I suppose that's sort of how I see it too. To be honest, I don't really feel like I organize anything. But if I'm have plan like this and then this, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Sorry, NI is kind of like thoughts or actual. Or even if literally threw like this giant bag full of clothes and like toiletries on the bed just a while ago because I couldn't find my freaking hair product. So I was like, and I just didn't put it back. I just remembered right now.
Yeah,
Fred.
I agree with what Leon said, and also what Asees and you said as well.
So check out
Because
this video for more.
Yeah,
Link in
I
description.
need to watch that actually. Are you actually gonna link it?
Yep.
Dope.
Okay, Fred. So here's a double feminine question. Do you cross your legs? I suppose it's a double feminine anecdote.
Do I cross my legs? I don't know. I do.
No,
you know what? I still.
I mean, I also sit like this.
Yeah. Need to do. I literally just unconsciously moved my legs into that position. A little bit of FE there. Yeah, I used to do this a lot when I was a kid, and my brother was like, "You can't do that. That's gay." I was like, "Okay, well, I can't do that then. FE, I have to. Okay, then that's not allowed."
Oh my gosh!
It was a simpler time.
Right.
Do you enjoy like physical activities? Like, what kind of physical things do you like to do? Like,
in a word, no, not at all. But like at work, for instance, when I need to move like boxes, and work on your best eye. He's fucking legend. But he's like, you lift with your legs and all this. I'm like, no, give me the heaviest fucking box. I want to, I suppose, peacock Messi. Like, I want to pick up the biggest fucking box. And I do get a bit of a kick when they say, oh no, you can't carry that. Like, let's both of us carry that. And I'm like, no, I'll fucking do it myself. So yeah. Like, I suppose in that sense, I do need like a kind of FE audience to kind of show off my.
You like to peacock?
The game should be doing it, and it would be something, but like just sitting there doing reps, it kind of bores me.
You know what? It's like, and then you get the SE as well. I guess like a team sport. You enjoy that. I think something like volleyball. ball or something.
Volleyball would be really fun, actually.
Yeah.
I did used to enjoy badminton. I went to meet up. I met up with some people to play football,
Yeah.
which was kind of a mistake because I'm really bad at it. I learned that my reflexes are amazing, but instead of moving towards the ball, I move very quickly.
I have similar experiences.
But in school they always used to put me in goal. Yeah.
Did you
Bad
enjoy
choice.
being in goal?
Yeah, because I never had to touch the ball.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
So yeah, you're a software developer. That's your job, right?
Kind of. So I was hired as a software developer, and since then, like a lot of what I do now is admin work.
Yeah.
But I also do like video editing.
Oh, okay.
And I'm doing a lot of writing now for a blog website. Yeah, I got into it for software development, and I
Okay.
still do some software projects.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
that, I was just gonna ask for that, how does being a combination of NF, feminine sensory, and consumer last impact, like with programming and like remembering just how to just do all that detail based work?
So for coding, when it comes to syntax, like what I actually need to type in, I do regularly forget what I need to type in to get the shit to work.
Yeah.
Like I know what I want it to do, and I know conceptually what it needs to do procedurally. But like what words does it need? Sometimes I need to look it up.
Yeah.
That's like if Google wasn't a thing, I would not be a programmer.
Yeah. I do think this, like, how would I function without Google? Like if I was born like 100 years ago, what would I become, really? I don't know.
Just imagine me not taking any advice from anybody, not being able to read small bits of this and that, never going to the library, making up everything. You know?
Yeah. How did our types get
survive?
Yeah, survive, man.
Other people.
Yeah. Maybe the whole percentages thing, like the MBTI percentages, maybe that's based on like over 50 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe it's legit for like a really long time ago. But I don't know.
I have a potential controversial theory to share.
Go for it.
If that's okay.
Blast, please. Do say
Show me your TI though.
So
well, actually, can we just hold up Fred real quick? We don't have a Zoom Premium, so it's gonna cut in a little bit. So what we'll do is I don't want to cut you off mid thing, and that's what the recording might do. So we'll start up a new thing, and then we'll just cut it in the video, and so then that'll then you can just start talking, and then without being
just don't forget what you're gonna say though. Don't forget.
Everyone,
you have
everyone jump out. I'll kill the meeting and just use the same link. Just jump back in. I'm not
and then entertaining because your blast is high compared to having 3 blast lasters, and so I didn't want it to cut off.
That's good. Yeah, fucking NE, man, you're fucking on this shit.
There we go.
We strive in chaos, dude. We're just like, yeah, all right, over here. Anyway, cool.
Oh, Jono's back in reality as well.
Yeah, I know. Right? I can tell.
Finally.
You're gonna notice in the playback.
Yeah. This is the land of chaos, man. All right, Asees, ask your question again.
All right. So what? Actually, I don't know what the question was. Manny asked him, and then that's how we'll cut it.
Oh no, you got a theory.
You said you had an idea based on, because I said maybe the percentages in MBTI are based on what it was like over 100 years ago, because intuitives would have been like really maladapted, and you said you had a theory for like the percentages.
So, okay.
Forget it already.
So I'm not sure I agree with it now because I think fuck.
Well, let's
The
battle it out.
FE is such a hard barrier to break through. um, so let's suppose we're talking 10,000 years in the future, right?
Yeah.
And let's suppose our brains are just hooked into, the singularity. We're all in the Neuralink.
What's the singularity? Just quickly.
What's that, sorry?
What is a singularity?
Yeah, give us a brief description of singularity.
So
Viewers that don't know.
the singularity, as I understand it, is the full interconnected internet of human minds. And I honestly don't know much about it because I haven't consumed it. But I think Elon Musk's Neuralink is sort of getting onto this, where it's just implants. If we're talking like super into the future, it's just implants in the brain that directly connect you to all other brains.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which probably freak out. I don't know. How do NEs feel about that?
I agree.
Yo, let's do it. Let's do it. I wish we could do that right now.
I wasn't listening.
So that's the example.
Yeah, that's how the NIs feel about it.
This is
Big word.
very true.
So we know what singularity means now. So what's the theory?
Yeah. Commence.
So no, I'm backing out of it because I fundamentally don't think it's true.
Oh
anymore.
no, I'm gonna drag that TI out of you right now. Show me that TI.
What if it's not true, dude? Just
Just say it as like it's just an idea, like
just a crackpot idea. Why not?
like the NEs obviously are just
Use TE. Use TE instead.
Okay,
there's nothing personal about this idea to the NE.
It's a hypothetical.
So let's suppose then, hypothetically, I can pretend to be any. So let's suppose we are just brains in a jar. We're hooked into the matrix, and our physical forms don't really exist, and all of our consciousness and our awareness is just of other brains. At that point, unless SE and SI have other things in play, then we don't have any physical form, we don't have any SE, we don't really need SI because we can store SI information in like crystal hard drives. So at that point, like as we get closer to that level, the number of intuitives will probably kind of balance it out. But I think we're already sort of seeing it like Silicon Valley, with like more NT stuff, or at least
most of us have thought about this before, or like had some form of idea of what you're talking about. Sure.
Yeah, I think even if it's not like a complete thing, but I think that it will be. Actually, now that I think about it, in recent Q&A, we're seeing like at least in the Facebook group, we're seeing like an even amount of intuitives and sensors.
Yeah.
So like I'm actually not even sure that the MBTI stats are even accurate.
I don't
think they're currently accurate. What would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, MBTI is definitely fucked up. But I think that with the future, because there's still always going to be a limited amount of data, even if it's seemingly infinite from our current perspective. It's just that the sensors will use their hardware, whatever, for more this direction, and intuitives are going to go more that direction. Same thing with thinkers and feelers. And so it's just like, where are you using your mental resources, which is kind of the same thing now, just with better hardware.
Yeah, I get you. That's true. Huh.
What do you think, Fred?
Yeah, seems right to me. I'm going to be TI honest. I couldn't consume all of it. I kind of zoned out a little bit. Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
That happens when Asees is talking.
Yeah. Yeah, I have not to boast, but I do have that effect on people.
Fred, have you ever done an IQ test?
I can't remember. No, I don't have an IQ result now.
These will
All right,
probably.
I'll give you one. It's good enough.
We'll put a link
Hey.
in the description to an IQ test that everyone can do at home and submit us their results.
Put what you think Fred's IQ is at the bottom of the comment.
Yeah.
It's like a stars, right? It's like between 1 and 10. Like that's what my special counselor told me. 10 is good IQ, right?
Counts.
No?
Oh, yeah. With
Oh,
schools and stuff,
oh,
they're probably not going to give you your straight up IQ, because then it's like, haha, I'm smarter than you when you're in elementary school or middle school or whatever, and you're just like,
It's bullying.
then the kids will start to feel bad, and then their parents will get angry at the schools, and that's not too good. But it's like average is 100, and then it goes from there.
Okay. So like that reminds me, when I was a kid, I was put on like a little gifted and talented extra curriculum thing. And at the time, I thought, oh no, this is what they do to the slow children. Like, oh, I need an extra education because I'm dumb. It's probably the demon TI, yeah.
If it makes you feel better, when I was in middle school, there was this girl that was a year older than me, and I wanted to literally skip a grade so that I can go to high school with her because I really liked her, and I didn't ever talk to her. And I got like a D at the end of the year. So, that makes you feel better.
Yeah, lots of idiots.
Well, thank God it didn't happen for me, because now I got my lady Nika.
Hey.
From Nika.
Nice.
Hey.
So Fred,
Man.
did you how did you feel about the other kids in that gifted intelligence program?
You know, I didn't really talk to them because I was always a very timid and quiet kid, which is sort of weird now having this result. But it, for some reason, the only thing I remember, because I went on like a computer hardware course, and I was too scared to actually interact with anything, so I didn't fucking learn anything. But I do remember looking behind me, and I was just, one girl was sitting there, and she was just drawing like a little dragon thing in MS Paint. Like, so I went on this like extra curriculum course, and the only fucking thing I learned was this girl was drawing a dragon dinosaur thing. Yeah. So apart from that, I didn't interact with any of the other kids. There was like 30 other kids there. Didn't talk to any of them.
Wow.
Did you at that school, because I was in a similar thing, except I think you're describing it as like as a more out of school situation. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I think it was in
Yeah.
lower school, and there was like a series of, it was like academically gifted or something. And so there was like just a set amount of courses that I could take outside. Like you say, there was like another school, it was like an upper school or something that did it. So like, what was yours then? Was it?
Mine was like in elementary school specifically, and in middle school, it became more of its own class, and same thing in high school. But in middle school, it was a portion of the day that we got pulled out, and we were learning some other things and some more fun things. But I wanted to ask you, because everybody knew, all of my teachers would know that I was there, and so then they would say, being Demon FE, I'm just, I'm trying to fit in. I'm just doing what everybody else is doing, but then the teachers would come up to me and say, hey, you're in this program, you can't do that. Did you have any sort of situations like that?
Not really. So I never really had anyone tell me, I don't know, because I was always kind of very obedient, generally. So I never really had anyone telling me not to do something. I don't know if I understood your question right. Does that make sense?
No, yeah, that makes sense. And so, do you think that you were obedient because you were on the more timid side, like you were saying earlier, or more because you sort of adopted your when you were younger, when you were building up your NI, that you sort of just fashioned it more towards the structure that you already existed within, which would be the school?
So I think a lot of my struggle with this was I had a fairly chaotic upbringing. I won't go into details, but it's so I think the timidness was just like maybe again like my human need of certainty, but yeah, I actually don't know. Yeah, sorry, I don't even know how to answer that question. Yeah, it's
Oh,
kind of
fair
difficult.
enough. Fair enough.
Um,
So, so all of this started because we were talking about you being a software developer, and so yeah, we covered that you do
oh
among other
yeah,
things your
I
blog and
never got
stuff.
to the actual question. Yeah, so how does the combination of being NF, feminine sensory, and consume last like? Oh yeah, wait, did you actually talk about that already?
Oh man, demon sense.
Okay.
That's good laughter.
Someone confirm. Did we address
Then help.
how his feminine sensory impacts his like coding? Oh yeah, this was before.
I vaguely remember we said something about it.
You said something about syntax.
Oh yeah,
That's all I remember.
and needing Google, and then
Oh yeah.
was that before we
and then
started
that's
talking
how
about?
yeah, and then that's how we got into the MBTI percentages, and then talking about the you know the
We went to the
singularity and
land of
the
chaos.
slants and stuff.
Look at that SI, man. Great, great SI.
On a side note, Jono, look, I found a statue of you in
wow.
this room.
Oh, nice.
Look at his style. It looks really cool.
I know, dude.
Oh.
He's got that everything in an SI order with his brown belt matching his brown face and everything.
Fred, do you think I look like Mr. Potato Head?
I don't know. What do you want?
Dude, I don't want your
This is Fred here. This is Fred.
I want your TI answer, not your FE answer.
He's all yes, no, yes. I don't know what you want.
I think there's some compelling similarities.
There you go.
That's one compelling answer.
Hey, Fred, I have a question for you. So you're typed blast play and sleep third, and I'm typed sleep first, then blast play. So personally, I have an issue where if I'm not around people enough, I start to get depressed. But then if I'm around people too much, I get really sensitively frustrated. I need to isolate myself. But since you're in your IJ box so often and you're blast play, do you have any sort of feelings of depression at times? Because in a way, I like to get on social media and interact like that to kind of sort of cover that. Do you feel that way at all ever?
So, yeah, it's that's a tricky one. Can you run the question by me again, just so I can get it in my head?
Yes. To be clear and short, do you feel depressed if you don't satisfy your blast play mode animals? Like you don't get to blast and play enough?
Yeah, actually, this is interesting. This would probably be easier to see if I didn't have the internet, because having access to the internet, like I can go on Cure, I can go on like the Facebook group, I can actually just interact with people and get that kind of tribe interaction, which I didn't realize I was doing. I thought for sure I was DI, because I really do not fucking want to have anything to do with anyone. So yeah, but when like if my internet goes down and I can't interact with anyone, then I really do start to feel it. Like just even when I'm like sitting down and playing games, I've noticed I do. It's weird. I sort of ask myself questions and then answer them, and like, it's kind of difficult to even pay attention to the game I'm playing, because I'm kind of like talking to someone else, or as if someone else is here, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sometimes it's sort of in a weird way bizarre to even be doing this, because this is the kind of thing I imagine doing in my head quite often, if that makes sense. Like I'm kind of like trying to figure myself out by telling myself my own known information and teaching myself, you know, the same fucking nonsense bullshit I've got in my head still.
Yeah.
So
Like you need someone to blast to, and if no one's there, you blast yourself.
And if you realise, like me, that I'm a fucking annoying idiot, it's like, well, I'll talk to myself then.
Yeah, I don't like to talk to myself out loud, at least.
No,
I've got too much crap for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I get crap too, but I just do it anyways because it's like, why the fuck do I have to listen to you guys care about what you feel?
The DI energy.
Well, I hate listening to other people talk out loud too much because I'm curious, like, are you actually, like, talking to me? Are you talking to yourself? Or, like, should I pay attention? And then if you complain I'm not paying attention, I'm, like, super defensive because it's demon consume. And I'm like, well, you're talking to yourself all the time.
I definitely side with Asees here. Like, if I'm talking to myself, then it's not your business, basically.
Okay. Oh, man.
So do you sort of see your the more specific parts of your personality, let's say the feminine sensory is just one of those things where how you sort of look up the specific syntax, which I relate to. I've done a little bit of programming, but do you sort of see that play out in other areas of your life with let's say not a feminine sensory, but more like the specific animals or sexuals of other functions?
Yeah, so like for example, I can't even remember my own type, so I need to have that on the screen. And like when I'm answering questions and stuff in the group, I do need to kind of I do have a doc that I keep meaning to refer to where I'm trying to like fucking blast all my dumb information out so I can use that as a whole reference. But yeah, actually, like with my feminine SE, it's sort of like it's very difficult. Like with these questions, it's very difficult for me to conjure memories. It's normally, like I can't remember what it was now, but like Otam, you were talking about something, or you asked me a question, I couldn't answer it, and then you answered it, and then that reminded me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right.
So, like,
that's how my memory works as well. It's very like stuff I need it to be triggered, and then I remember everything. And like whenever I'm talking to someone and we're talking about some event we did like years ago, I'll like if we start the conversation, then I'll be like, oh shit, and then this and happened and this happened. And I'll lay out like the whole like event, but I have to be like triggered. So my memory needs like to be triggered by stuff. That's like SE, I guess, seeing stuff on a spectrum. So yeah.
That happened with me when you just started, like earlier when we were talking about the how we got to the question.
Yeah,
the singularity.
that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Maybe my theory, SE is foiled, but yeah.
maybe it's like extra hard for me because it's SE and it's feminine.
Yeah, for sure. And consume that, like, and single activated, right? Yeah, single activated. Yeah. Wow.
So we are running close to our time limit again. So just going to ask one more question and then kind of wrap it all up. So we're going to steal one from Lewis House. If Lewis House, if you happen to be watching this, you're awesome. If there were 3 personal truths you could share with the world before you died to help the world be a better place, what would they be, Mr. Fred?
Be good to each other, have fun, and just remember it's just a fucking ride.
Great.
All right.
That was great.
Sweet. So, to close off, if you guys want to be interviewed by us, message us in the comments. I think we have like a little email section if you want to talk about that there, and you will go through a screening process by the OIs to see if you're interesting enough. And that's it for this episode. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, and we'll see you in the land of chaos next time.
Oh, thanks, Brad. It was great to meet you. Great to get to know you a bit more and thank you for sharing a bit of your TI with us.
Cool. Yeah, it was a struggle. Hopefully, I gave you enough something interesting.
Nah, you did good, man.
I
This
just
is
thought
like
it was interesting.
you hadn't even like processed your type yet, so like this was good. Like
Yeah.
yeah, this
And
was
then we'll
good.
do what we can do one like in a month or so, like post processing, let's say.
Yeah, that's a good idea for sure. Yeah,
Post
that's a good idea.
processed Fred.
Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds a good idea. I'm down for that.
All right, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
stop recording.
And yeah,
No, I'm actually trying. Maybe this is my FE. I'm trying to find some TI thing that might help improve. Like maybe there was something that I thought was off, but
right.
I don't know. I had a good time. I didn't think
Just
any.
process it. You'll process this the next hours, next day, whatever, and you'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
I've got an idea.
Yeah. So if that happens, just let us know. We would really appreciate that feedback.
Seriously, dude, thanks a lot. Really appreciate it, huh?
Yeah, man, this was fun.
Yeah.
We actually kind of targeted your demon functions to punch at them to see if it was true or not, if you are your type. So I hope that actually helped you.
I appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I'm glad you did that. Yeah, because it was sort of awkward doing this because I didn't want to commit to it, and but then I did figure like talking to 4 fucking intuitives. Like if this isn't right, I'll fucking give myself away immediately.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But you fit right in.
Right.
You were shepherding us eventually. Like
You were the DE to our DI. Oh.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to go, but you guys can chat if you want. I'll leave the Zoom thing open.